right, guys, that was week 11. Week 11 was in the books of Super Liga. We are the Well-Mannered Cartel. I am Tom.
I'm Mike.
I'm Marlon.
I'm Chris.
And like I said, week 11 has passed by. It was a wild one. Super important games across the league. It's everyone's in the hunt except for a couple teams, right, Mike?
Yeah. There's a couple of teams that are out right now.
Yeah, let's check out the matchup. So the first one we're looking at is the Fornicators 167 against Dem Lions 155. Now this one was a close one. It came down to the Monday night. I know Robert Woods won the game for the Fornicators. And so it made things very, very interesting in the Earth Division. All the teams have the same record at 6-5 now. But let's have a look at this matchup.
Patrick Mahomes had a decent game, 34 points. You can't be mad at that. You know, I think that was a catalyst for the victory for the Fornicators. Obviously, Robert Woods talked on that. Yeah,
I was thinking Patrick Mahomes was going to put like a 50 burger down, but he still did. He still did very well.
Bro, Vegas plays them tough though.
They do. That's a rivalry right there.
Yeah, it's brewing. Let's see, Robert Tonyan, bro, 15 points from Robert Tonyan. Marlon, that's got to piss you off, huh?
Not too much.
Not too much.
It's funny, man.
Who else won off?
I know the Fornicators was talking so much shit about all the tight ends being gone in the chat, and then his tight end actually did pretty well. So.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, man. I mean, you look at Dem Lions' roster. Obviously, they had a pretty good game at 155. Adam Thielen balled out. He had that crazy one-handed grab. Juju got hurt on his birthday. Only scored 5.9 points. And DJ Moore, man. DJ Moore's been looking pretty good as of late. I know they had, what's his name, slinging it from the Rough Riders.
PJ Walker.
PJ Walker.
Yeah. So, I mean, he did well. But I think Teddy's coming back this week. So we'll see how, what happens again, because you don't know who it's going to be. If it's going to be Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, or Curtis Samuel. But, yeah, man. So the Fornicators, Mahomes and Robert Woods, dude, those were the guys for him, and they got the job done. So then the Fornicators is now 6-5. Dem Lions is now 6-5. The next matchup we're looking at is the Bangkok Ladyboys, 157. Flint Tropics, again, not scoring very high with 107. And like we said, he's suffering from some key injuries that really are disabling him from scoring the points that he needs to get a big. But Bangkok, he's just consistent, man. He's 9-2 right now. He's all but solidified that bye week in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, he had Mark Andrews, who finally woke up for him, got him 20 pooppoints. Man, Mark Andrews was looking rough for a few weeks there, most of the season actually. Yeah, and then Hopkins, man. Hopkins is 10 points, kind of disappointing. He's had a couple of disappointing weeks here. If it wasn't for that Hail Mary that he caught a couple of weeks ago, he'd have or the last week. I mean, he'd have like 3 stinkers in a row.
Yeah.
So something to keep an eye on. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to bounce back, but it's just interesting that he kind of put up a decent score without DeAndre Hopkins. But Dalvin Cook putting up 34 and Aaron Rodgers with 36. Those were the big time scores for him.
Yeah, Vu clinched the division with this win, and there's a pretty good chance that he might sweep again. He swept us the first time around. He might do it again.
Yeah, he's that division is lopsided at the top.
Yeah, right now with Flint really not performing anymore because of injuries. You have like the best team in the league, and then like the worst teams in the league. But Marlon looked good this week.
Oh yeah,
that's a good segue.
Hey, Marlon would have beat him this week, bro. Marlon would have beat him this week. So
I would have.
Yeah, dude. We didn't really talk about Flint's games. I mean, his players. Tannehill 25, Philip Lindsay. He had to start him, only had 8 points. Godwin looked pretty good at with 19.3 points. Terry McLaurin 15.4. But he had a stinker with.
He got goose, didn't he?
Yeah, by Traquan Smith.
Traquan Smith, man, that's a rough start. Having to start Traquan Smith.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The Titans only scored 3 points. So yeah, Joe Mixon, Christian McCaffrey, both out for him. He gets the loss there. He falls to 5-6. Bangkok Ladyboys moves forward to 9-2. And the next matchup is Marlon Colon Santo 158. Gridiron Throne.
Breaking the spell.
Yeah.
So guys.
I mean, well, I don't know if you want to go first, Mike.
My team sucked. I lost Joe Burrow for the rest of the season. I also lost Drew Brees also, so I had to pick up 2 fucking quarterbacks on the waivers. I'm just hoping I get one more win for the year, man.
Well, this is like some sort of championship game, right? It was kind of like
this was like for second to last place,
Yeah.
This game felt more important than it actually was. And Marlon beat you pretty bad.
Well, I wasn't terribly confident coming in, just because I've had I don't know how many losses in a row, a ridiculous amount of losses in a row.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that Matt Ryan wasn't doing too good, I was like, fuck, dude, like once again.
Here we go.
He did do pretty bad for me, but Cooper Kupp went off. Well, just both Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods had just great games. And overall, I mean, I had I didn't have, except for Matt Ryan, nobody scored under 10 points for me.
Yeah,
so
we were talking about it last week when we recorded the episode last week. It was after the Thursday game, and you started Drake and Edmonds, and that was a good call, man. Like that took some guts there to start both of them, but they ended up performing for you. Decent scores.
Yeah, I figured that they would. I wasn't terribly confident in putting Tim Patrick or anybody else in place. I figured they were going to split, and get some action on the Seahawks, which they did.
So that's 2 weeks in a row that you've done that, right? You started them both.
Well, the first week I put in Edmonds, thinking that thinking that they were going to limit his Drake's snaps because he was just coming off of an injury. So
that's right.
Yeah, that was a bad call. Well, not a bad call, just bad luck.
Yeah.
And then Hunter Henry ends up having the best game of his of the season for you, 14.8 points. Not bad score for a tight end, especially this year when tight end scoring has been terrible. It's been terrible this year.
Yeah.
And then Justin Jefferson, dude, 17 points against the Cowboys. That was a good. I mean, just 14 points or 14 yards shy of the bonus, but
I was crossing my fingers. I was like, run it up to the get those 12 extra or 14 extra yards, and then drop to your knees or something. Don't score against the Cowboys because they were winning.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at your bench, man. Corey Davis had 28, and Tim Patrick had 30.
I love that.
That's nice to see on your bench.
Yeah, I mean they had great games, dude, and just it kind of solidified my belief in keeping Tim Patrick around, because he'll go off for I mean that's a exceptional game, but
Tim Patrick is the best receiver in Denver, dude.
Yeah.
Judy's. We talked about it last week. I'm not sold on Judy. He doesn't pass the eyeball test, and Patrick does. I think he's getting targets too. So I wouldn't get rid of him if I were you.
Yeah. Well, that's had I supplanted him instead of Chase Edmonds, I'd do better. But I mean, overall, I was happy with the score.
Okay, you greedy fuck.
Yeah, fucking, he doubled you up, bro. He doubled you up. Like, that's crazy.
Well,
to be fair,
Mike's team just got unlucky, like really unlucky.
Marlon, you could have scored 80 points this week and beaten him.
I could have had one of my other weeks, a normal week for me.
Yeah, man, but it sucks, dude. Joe Burrow, like going out with the knee injury, that's terrible, dude. He's a rookie. He's been lighting it up. He's been doing really, really well.
It's a bummer.
It does suck, dude. Gostkowski, man, hang in there with 12 points. That's pretty good, Mike.
Yeah, my kicker was the second best performer on my team.
There we go. Not a good sign. Well, AJ Green performed okay too.
AJ Green was the best performer on my team.
You had Aguilar on your bench, who scored 20.8, and then Curtis Samuel at 21.
Yeah,
they start him.
I wouldn't have started them, without that knowledge, Like I don't think I would have started them over who I started. So
yeah, hindsight, man. So then Coulon Santo is now sitting at 3-8, and the Gridiron Throne at 2-9. The next match,
bro, but it's a solid 3-8. It's a solid 3-8.
Those three wins have been some of the most solid wins of this season. The next matchup is Las Vegas 173, Vino Papi 157. I needed to get this win here. It was very important for me to be still, in contention for a playoff spot, and I edged Vino Papi out with Julio getting hurt. Once Julio got hurt, I was like, I'm screwed, but Justin Herbert went off. Devontae Adams went off.
Yeah.
Goddard had 19 points. Devontae Parker had 18 points. Will Fuller had a respectable 14 points. So I couldn't complain, man. My team, I scored 173 points and got the job done.
Yeah, he's got to be disappointed in Gurley for sure.
Oh yeah, that's a really shitty score there.
Michael Thomas finally did, Michael Thomas things.
Yeah, and even the ball. Yeah, he definitely could have won this week if he had a couple, different performances from a couple different players. If DK Metcalf had a better week, and if Todd Gurley had a more respectable week, it would have been much closer. But it happens. It happens.
I think Cam Newton was 300 yards passing helped him out a lot too, because for the most, I was watching that game obviously as a Texan fan. Cam Newton was pretty much shut down until they had to throw the ball in the fourth quarter, and that's whenever he had that bonus. Yeah, so I was just like, oh man, once Cam hit that bonus, I was like, I'm definitely screwed.
Bro,
but then the 3 o'clock games happened.
Yeah, James Robinson for him having that tough matchup against Pittsburgh really put a damper on his hopes there. Only getting 12 points from Robinson when he's usually well over 20 and usually gets that 10-point bonus for the 100 yards. And like you said, Mike, that DK not really having a great game, just having an okay game. And Gurley really did him in. But if you look at his other players, Waller, 21 points, that was great. But you kind of countered that with Goddard having a really good
18,
game.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah, so that was pretty much a wash. And you kind of expect when your tight end has scores 21 points, you think, damn, I might win this, because we've touched on it. The tight ends have been garbage. So but yeah, man. But like said, that Cam breaking 300 definitely kept them in the game a little longer.
I thought Justin Herbert, after he cut his hair, he was going to have a terrible week, and then he exceeded expectations.
It was weighing him down. It turns out.
It was the reverse Samson effect.
Yeah. He was definitely more aerodynamic this week. So yeah, man, that was a key game for the division, that Earth division, where everyone has the same damn record. Bino Poppies and Las Vegas are both at 6-5 now. We'll get into the standings in a bit, but the next matchup is Peaky Beads 159. The Bad Hombres gets back in that dub column 186. Chris.
Oh, dude, man, this actually could have been a lot closer than it was, dude. Us having the 10-point bonus for the 100 yards,
it makes a big difference
for receivers. It makes such a big difference because it was on the last drive of the Chiefs game on Sunday. Tyreek Hill actually broke 100 yards before Travis Kelce did, and there was like it was like a 20-point swing within like a minute, because on the last drive, Tyreek Hill breaks 100 yards, so he gets a 10-point bonus. And then the very last offensive play for the Chiefs, Travis Kelce gets like a 24-yard touchdown reception, and that put him over 100.
Yeah.
And so you got the 6 points on the touchdown, the 22 or 24 yards. That's another 2 points, and then the 10-point bonus. I mean, that was a huge play, and that pretty much sealed the deal for him.
Yeah,
and so it makes the game. It makes it look like, if you look at the score, it looks like it was like a comfortable win, but it really wasn't, because those bonuses really keep the games closer than they are, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll win you a game, just like we talked about with Dem Lions and DeFornicators. I mean, that bonus will kick in, and that's game over, game, set, and match for some games. It's key, right, dude. And I think we've only had it a couple times this year where they hit that 200-yard bonus, which is an additional 20 points. I mean, that's a week winner right there, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I was watching the Texan game again, and Deshaun Watson was doing whatever the hell he wanted to do to New England, and he scored 46 points. And I was like, damn, dude. I was like, I thought you were going to lose there for a second, Chris, because Russell only scored 24 points, and Deshaun again put up close to 50. And I was like, you know, when Deshaun does that, it's going to be tough. But I mean, the rest of your players stepped up and got it done.
Yeah, man. Nick Chubb, another, gets a 10-point bonus for the 100 yards. So he got 22 points. A.J. Brown with that grown-ass man touchdown. We fucking dragged like 3 dudes into the end zone with him. That was big. CeeDee Lamb getting that nasty catch, man, in the end zone was huge. CeeDee Lamb with 16 points. I mean, we already touched on it. Travis Kelce, dude, when Tyreek Hill balls the fuck out and Travis Kelce just stays with him step for step, like as far as points scored, I mean, he pretty much washed Tyreek Hill. That's, from the tight end position, I mean, that's insane. Yeah. And then Zeke finally, man, has a great game. They actually made a change on the offensive line. They moved Zach Martin to right tackle. And Zach Martin, he's like, known as one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL, a constant, all pro. And moving him to right tackle, it looks like Zeke was just running right behind him, getting in his ass, as we like to say. And Zeke got 29 points.
Hey, Zeke, you get the ball, Zeke, you run straight, boy. You run straight. And Zeke runs straight.
Dude, I saw this still image of one of the holes that they opened up for him. And it was, dude, he had like 7 feet of separation between the linemen, like a 7-foot hole for him to run through. It was insane. It was nuts.
Yeah.
But
managed to survive the goose egg from Prater.
From Prater, yeah. Prater goose and still putting up 186. I mean, that's a pretty good score with a goose on the squad.
Dude, it's actually kind of rare to get a goose egg from a fucking kicker, dude. Because
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
Detroit got shut out
or something. Yeah.
Dude, that Detroit could not move the ball at all, and then they were down big, and it's like it was. And then Prater actually missed a field goal, which he rarely does. It was dumb. Hopefully, he doesn't do that again. I might have to pick another kicker. He's been pretty consistent, but I'm not gonna put up with 2 shitty weeks in a row. But yeah, that was that, man.
Bad Hombres 7-4, Peaky Blindside 5-6. The last matchup we're looking at is Over Easy 122 falls to Crossfaded 174. I can feel her eyes on me now. And
another disappointing week for Over Easy. Those injuries are really taking a toll on her.
Chris Carson in particular, he's been practicing Link. He's practicing in full this week, so he should be back for her. And yeah, man, Kyler Murray only had 24 points, which is kind of disappointing for Kyler. Just kind of like the same boat Russell Wilson was in, Chris. But Tyler Lockett had 21 points. Robbie Anderson, it's either Robbie Anderson or DJ Moore, it seems, and it's been all DJ Moore the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And then she said, from compliments of Hayden Hurst. And
Hayden Hurst did her dirty.
Hey, Derrick Henry had that gnarly run at the end of the game in overtime to seal it. But then you look at Crossfaded's team, and we know Crossfaded, his team can go off, and they have done that, several times this year, or 4 times this year. And Lamar Jackson, 17 points, Kamara, 10.5. You see those two scores, you're like, he probably didn't score that many points. But then you look, Keenan Allen, man, he's getting all the targets in San Diego and LA.
Bro, 16 catches? Are you fucking kidding me? That's insane. 16 catches, 145 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson had 12 catches.
Yeah.
He was targeted 16 times, and he had 111 yards, so 33 points for him.
Yeah. I mean, if all he got were points for his receptions, dude, that 16 fucking receptions, it's still solid, dude.
He got 40. He got 43 points with a fumble. Had he not fumbled, he would have had almost 47 points, 46 and a half.
And then Melvin Gordon, 17.4. So that's not bad, from that flex spot. But yeah, dude. So Crossfaded came out, and he still has a chance in the playoffs at 4-7. He needs a lot of teams to lose.
But mathematically possible.
Not impossible. Yeah. But yeah, he's still in it. Over easy 7-4, Crossfaded 4-7. And let's have a look at the standings now. So the Earth division, like we said, everyone in the division is 6-5. I don't know if we've ever had this happen. This is the 5th year in the league. I don't know if anyone, if we've had it's this close at this point in the season where all the teams have the same record. With that said, Vino Papi's up top, and this goes down to points 4, right? So he scored 21.2 points. Then it's the Fornicators with 69.44 points, Dem Lines 1590.56 points, and Las Vegas 1560.54 points. Yeah. So
I didn't realize how much Vino has kind of outscored the rest of the division, dude. He's just had some bad losses.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent. Well, he had a rough patch. I think he lost like 4 straight.
He lost 3 in a row or 4 in a row, yeah.
Yeah. But my team, dude, I've had some stinkers, dude. Whenever I lose, it's like I'm not putting up points. It's like 100 points or something. So that's why my team's at the bottom. But yeah, Dem Lions scored pretty good points this week. Just couldn't get it done against the Fornicators, and the Fornicators now has Patrick Mahomes just balling. So he's very, very scary, very interesting next 2 weeks. And I think it's going to be like if you win, you're in the playoffs. If you lose, you're out of the playoffs in the next 2 weeks, right? So you just you got to keep the ball rolling.
High pressure games here.
Oh yeah, the Win division. Bad Hombres comes back to the top in that division. He is 7-4 with 1869.62 points scored. Over Easy falls to second. She has the same record at 7-4 with 1710.66 points scored. The Peaky Blindside at third, 5-6. 1717.58 points scored, and then Crossfaded at 4-7, 1674.62 points scored. So this division is also very good, very close, and nobody's out of this division either. I think if Crossfaded loses, he's pretty much out. Well, he is out if he loses this week. But Peaky Blindside is still in the thick of it, and then of course Bad Hombres and Over Easy both at 7-4, looking, like sure bets for the playoffs if they can get at least one more win. The Fire division, Bangkok Ladyboys 9-2, 1925.18 points scored. His team is just running over people. Flint Tropics 5-6, like we talked about. He's been, going downward. 55.5 points scored. Culon Santo 3-8, a solid 3-8. 56.06 points scored, and then the Gridiron Throne 2-9, 1391.64 points scored. So if Flint loses again, it's pretty much going to be multiple teams from the Wind and Earth division plus the Bangkok Ladyboys. But let's look at the playoff standings. It's the playoff picture right now. If it were to start today, Over Easy loses her bye. She'd be facing the Fornicators in that quarterfinal game, and then Dem Lions would be facing Vino Papi, and the 2 byes would be the Ladyboys, and then the Bad Hombres walks into that bye spot right now. So we talked about it last week. The playoff, picture was going to look a lot different, and it does.
Your matchup, Chris, with Over Easy could determine that bye spot, dude.
It probably will, man. It's probably going to come out of that last week, and so We'll see, because she beat me, so she's already ahead on the head-to-head earlier this season. So if I end up beating her, then I'm pretty sure I'll have most points scored, which I think is the second tiebreaker. So yeah, it's gonna come down to that, man.
Yeah. So yeah, Lady Boys, like we talked about, he's pretty much
clinched.
He has that bye spot. He's got it. And in the hunt, you still have Las Vegas, you have Peaky, you have Flint Tropics still, and then Crossfaded hanging on by a thread in there. So looking crazy right now. Very, very close. These next 2 weeks are oh so important. We'll see how it goes. Chris, your corner, man.
All right, man. We're going to start with who the fuck is that guy? And he played in the Texans versus the Patriots game. Demir Bird. I'm not even sure if I'm fucking pronouncing his name right. Demir Bird, wide receiver for the New England Patriots. 6 catches, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, 39 points. Did you guys know who the fuck this guy was before this game? I had no idea who the hell he was, man. I had no idea. And of course he goes off against the fucking Texans. Like, I'm sure you were pissed off watching that game, Tom. Like, what the fuck? Who the hell is this guy? Demir the Scooter fucking Bird.
Fucking custodian is fucking killing us.
Oh my god, killing us, the custodian.
Well, yeah, dude, you got this elote salesman just fucking killing it right now.
Yeah, dude.
Elotes.
I just Googled him, and that was his only touchdown of the season so far.
Yeah, insane. I think he's on Vino Poppy's squad now. He got picked up. He bought into the hype.
Chasing points. Chasing points. It was against the Texans, man. Let's hold your horses, you know.
Yeah, he had 130 yards. His best week.
Settle down.
Settle down.
Before that was 72 yards.
There we go. All right.
The next Randy Moss. Bro.
There we go. The squanderer this week is Dem Lions. I mean, you know, he couldn't really prevent the loss. He didn't really leave many points on the bench, but I'm pretty sure he was projected to win before that Rams Tampa Bay game, and before Robert Woods went off for 40. So I think it was the closest margin of victory. And Dem Lions has been on a skid, man. He's been losing critical games lately. Not too long ago, he was at the top of the division. I think 2 weeks ago, and now he's not anymore, and he's in a very tough spot to make the playoffs, I think. So yeah, man, he's the squanderer this week. Nobody really screwed the pooch too bad. The bed shitter of the week. We have a couple. We touched on these guys a little bit. Hayden Hurst with a fucking goose egg. Matt Prater, he fucking goosed me. 0 from the kicking position. And Mike, one of your guys always ends up in this segment, bro. I mean, one of your starters always ends up as a bed shitter. And it's this week it's Darrell Henderson, 2.9 points, running back for the LA Rams. He scored a touchdown last week.
Yeah, he's been solid all season. He's been like one of my most, consistent.
Yeah, he fucked me up last week, bro. You got a good score against me and gets 2 points when you're going.
It's personal.
Yeah, it's personal. Yeah, you had the fucking game of your life last week, and you fall back down to earth with fucking 78 points. This is a good transition. The no talent pussy of the week is the Gridiron Throne. 78.72 points. What do you have to say for yourself, Mike? Defend yourself.
Let me just chug this wine.
Let me finish this wine. Oh man, dude. Yeah, that dude, last week we were talking about.
I had taken pride in the fact that even though I had the worst record in the league, I was never the worst team on any given week, and then didn't even hit triple digits this week, man.
No, dude. Last week we were shocked by Flint's score of 71 points, and we're like, oh man, he's gonna be the no talent pussy of the year with that score. 1 week later, one fucking week removed, and you're challenging him for the title, Mike. What the hell, dude? We thought no one could even get close to scoring that low, and here you are defying the odds.
Hold my wine.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm still upset, obviously, by my loss to you last week, but I'm taking it out on you this week.
That feels personal.
But here we go. When it rains, it pours, bro. We're gonna pour them out for Joe Burrow. Of course, Joe Burrow on Mike's team, the Gridiron Throne starting quarterback, Joe Burrow.
This is the only 3 straight that's happening to Mike at all this season.
Three-peat.
The 3P for sure. Joe Burrow, torn ACL, torn MCL, recovery time anywhere between 9 months to 12 months. He could actually miss the start of next season, and that's kind of a bummer, man, because Joe Burrow was lighting it up.
I was going to mention it earlier, but it's like it kind of sucks that it definitely sucks that it happened, dude, especially because I feel like this will affect, like, his career, man. It's a rookie, dude.
I was talking to this guy at work, and he was like saying how
Deshaun tore his ACL his rookie year.
Yeah, but the thing is, well, the ACL and the MCL both, like, I don't know, man. It looks sketchy. I mean, I'm sure he can recover. He's a young guy, but this guy at work, he was talking to me about it, and he was saying how ugly it looked. Like on TV, you could see the knee like bend in a nasty direction, right? And he said, but it didn't look as bad as Dak's, right? And I was like, but that's kind of crazy because Dax looked worse. He broke his bone completely, but the recovery time for that is like 4 or 5 months. Like, when it's a clean break of a bone, and then this ACL, MCL, I mean, it could be up to 12 months of fucking rehab and recovery. And even when he's healthy and ready to come back, the Bengals might not want to rush him back in and to start. You know what I mean? They might want to take it easy with him. So
and they have a terrible O-line too. So
man. So it's just a bummer that he might not be ready to go to start next season, and he's probably going to miss games next year. That just sucks. We're just gonna hope that everything's okay with Joe Burrow and he keeps lining it the fuck up, because he was doing really well. We're gonna miss him for sure. And the big cock on the block, myself, the Bad Hombres, 186 points. Man, it's been a while. It feels nice to be
good. The good bad again. You're the good bad again. Because last
I was the bad bad. I was the bad, not the good bad. Yeah. Bad Hombres. Yeah, man. Let's get into next week's games.
Let's look at the first one. We'll break it down by divisions. I don't know why we didn't do that before. I just thought of that. So we're going to break it down by divisions. The first matchup we're looking at is in the Earth Division. The Fornicators 6-5 versus the 6-5 Las Vegas United. Tough one, man. I was talking to Vino Papi a couple of weeks ago before the trade deadline, and we were talking about our division and stuff, and I was like, man, the Fornicators team just really just startles me. It's just. You look at it and they're just scary,
Bro, let's not let these motherfuckers in the playoffs. Have you seen Patrick Mahomes' playoff schedule? It's fucking easy, dude. He can run through the fucking playoffs riding Patrick Mahomes if we let him in. Tom, we need you to take him out, bro. Do the fucking league a favor and take him out this week, man.
That's what he did whenever he won the title a couple years ago, man, is he just rode a quarterback. But yeah, dude, he's playing Tampa Bay this week, so that's a tough matchup. I do know that the Rams just threw all over Tampa Bay, but I think that was more of like a scheme thing, right? I don't think that Tampa Bay was expecting the Rams to just throw the ball, right? We'll see, man. We'll see if Tampa Bay has 2 bad defensive games back to back. So I like that he's playing Tampa Bay. That I'd rather him be playing Tampa Bay than anybody else. And then he has James Conner against Baltimore, Robert Woods against San Francisco. Brandon Cooks has a good matchup. Tanyan, not against Chicago, man. He ain't scoring 15 against Chicago, I don't think. Josh Jacobs against Atlanta, though. It's a pretty decent matchup. And then Gibson against Dallas. So his matchups are, kind of spotty, man. I think, my team has better matchups, but I don't know. I know Julio practiced today. Not in full, but he did practice, so that bodes well for him to play maybe on Sunday.
I don't think he's missing, man. I don't think he's gonna miss. Julio hardly misses games, dude. Really,
it's crazy. And I know whenever
he plays up a lot.
Yeah, whenever the last time I thought he was injured, I was like, I have to start him because he's playing. I think he had like 47 that week. So I'm not saying he's gonna replicate that, but if he's playing, you have to start him. But Herbert against Buffalo, that's pretty good. Devontae Adams against Chicago is difficult, but he's Devontae Adams. Will Fuller against Detroit is a juicy one for me. Tight end position, I have Noah Fant in there right now against New Orleans, but I might start Goddard against Seattle. Not sure. Game time decision for me.
Yeah, that's going to be a big decision, man, because I don't know, because I heard Zach Ertz might come back this week too. So you're not sure what the target share is going to be, but bro, Seattle, their fucking defense has been garbage, man. They can get thrown all over. And who else are they going to throw it to in Philly, So, man, that's going to be a tough call.
Yeah, it is, man. So as far as my flex positions go, I don't really know what I'm going to do.
Bro, David Montgomery coming back and against the Packers, the Packers' run D isn't that great. And I know Montgomery's been kind of inconsistent, but I mean, he could have a decent game against Green Bay. He could. I mean, it's possible.
He's the workhorse. Yeah, he gets all the touches whenever he's healthy. So
right.
Yeah, hoping that he can do okay. With that said, I'm going all in on the Fornicators.
Boom.
All in on the Fornicators. I think he's been on a streak here. He's not going to stop. Patches Mahomes is going to score 100 for him this week and probably beat me.
Boom. All right. Well, I'm going to pick you, man. I'm going to go with Las Vegas United. I think Herbert's going to have another great game. I think that Buffalo game is going to be a shootout. I think Will Fuller against Detroit, like you said, that is juicy. The Lions defense is not great. And then Devontae Parker against the Jets, dude. I mean, I think, we all know who the Jets are, and Devontae Parker could definitely take advantage of that. And I think Julio plays, and I think he has a good game. So I'm going to pick you, man, and I'm going to root for you as well because, the Fornicators, I don't want him in the playoffs, bro, because he won't fucking win the whole thing.
It's happened before. We've seen it happen.
It's happened before. Yeah.
As for me, I'm gonna take you, Tom, just because I'm hoping and praying that Robert Woods has a shitty game and that Cooper Kupp has the better game.
There we go. There we go.
Not that it will have any effect on my season whatsoever.
But still,
it's a matter of pride. It's a matter of pride.
Your self-interest is always first. I got it.
So I declare it. I do declare it. Echo la sal on Robert Woods and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm going to sacrifice a goat. I got the knife right here.
Oh, my son.
Yeah.
Tom, I think we have the stronger week this week. I'm gonna go with you. Despite any cyberbullying that may be occurring.
Hey man, I just spit facts. You were bullying me at the beginning of the year, so I just tell you how it is right now. Your team has won 2 games this year. Anyways, let's the next matchup we're looking at, Earth Division matchup. Again, both teams are 6-5. Vino Poppy against Dem Lions. Big one again, man. So Vino Poppy coming off a loss. Dem Lions coming off a loss. Like we said, man, both of these teams really need that W. I'm just looking at the players. I'm going to go with Vino Poppy. I just think his team is stronger right now. He's getting Allen back. Yeah, man, I think that's going to be the difference. He's getting his Buffalo players back.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Vino as well. I think we touched on that game, the Buffalo and Chargers game. I think that has the potential to be a very high-scoring game, and I think that will put Vino over the top on this week.
Yeah, man, I'm going to go with Vino as well. I think it'll be a lot closer than we expect it to be, but if you just look at his receivers, man, he's got Diggs, he's got Claypool, who's been balling as of late, and then I'm sure Metcalf is going to have a good game against the Eagles. And then if Michael Thomas does what he did last week, if he can replicate that performance, he's going to be hard to beat, man. And so I got to go with Vino.
You know who I'm curious about? Michael Pittman, man. See how he does for the rest of the season. He had a very quiet season, but he had his first touchdown last week, and curious to see if he starts living up to the expectations that the team had for him.
I just don't know how he makes the squad, bro. I don't know how he cracks the starting lineup, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in, but I would keep an eye on him.
If we want to talk about Colts who did well last week, we can talk about Taylor. For me, he actually did really, really well. I think he was only a few yards away from the bonus. Sorry, I'm going back to my squad, but it was good to see that from him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was encouraging for sure.
And his schedule's really good for the these last weeks. So
that's gonna be important.
I think this was gonna be. I think this was gonna be like you said, it's gonna be closer than what it's projected to be. I'll give the slight advantage to Vino Papi. The matchups on the receiver end of things. I'm not 100% confident on, but that being said, he's been more dominant.
If you do look at the first three names on the list for Dem Lions, though, like if those three guys can make something happen, Stafford, Miles Sanders, and DJ Moore, all three of them have great matchups. Mm-hmm. If they collectively can do something, I mean, he has a chance. It's not like Vino Pop is like the heavy favorite, but I'm just leaning towards Vino Pop.
Right. I think we're all in agreement.
So like I said, so the Earth Division, it's pretty much playoffs already in my division. Next up is the Win Division matchups: Peaky Blindside 5-6 versus Over Easy, who is 7-4. If Over Easy can get back in that dub column, it would look good for her and her playoff road up ahead. And then Peaky Blindside, if he loses, it's a lot more difficult for him to get back into that playoff spot. With that said, he does have Deshaun Watson against Detroit. Sorry, Davis against Minnesota. Tyreek Hill against Tampa Bay might be tough there. But yeah, the rest of his matchups are just kind of meh.
Yeah, I think Chris Carson coming back against Philly for the Seahawks. I think the Seattle is leaning more into their run game these last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Definitely last week. They finally got back to running the ball, and when Carson comes back, I think they're just going to run it even more, to be honest. So, and that's going to open things up in the pass game as well. So I think Tyler Lockett could have a great game, and Derrick Henry. I know he's got a tough matchup against the Colts, but man, I mean, there's very little you could do to stop Derrick Henry.
Yeah, even on a bad day, he has a good day.
And even on a bad day, he has a good day. And then we just saw Deshaun tear up New England.
Yeah.
I think Kyler Murray does the same. I know New England matchup is a little scary, but on paper. But I mean, we just saw Deshaun just tear him up. And historically, one of the few weaknesses of Bill Belichick defenses is actually mobile quarterback. And Kyler Murray is arguably the most mobile. I mean, it's probably not an argument anymore. I think he's actually a better runner, quicker than Lamar or any of these other guys. He's just fucking lightning fast. So I think Kyler Murray's going to tear up the Patriots, and Over Easy's going to win running away. I think she's just going to put it on the blind side this week.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I hate to see it, but it's fucking going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. Looking back, Derrick Henry played the Colts 2 weeks ago, and he scored 22 points. I think if I remember correctly at the time, I didn't think he was going to do that well, so he exceeded my expectations. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up another 22 or even more.
I mean, he put 30 on the Ravens this past week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another very difficult defense to run on. So yeah, I'm taking Over Easy because I always do.
That's two.
I love you, baby. Hey, I love you, baby.
So Mike, you took Over Easy. Tom, you took Over Easy. I took Over Easy. Marlon, photo sweeps.
Yeah, Over Easy, man. I think the Derrick Henry's going to perform a lot better than he did last time. He's going to have the vast majority of touches for sure.
But for sure. Yeah. I mean, let's give Peaky Blindside some credit though. Let's take this time. He fucking started off 0-3. Okay, and he made some good pickups off the waiver wire, and I think he made a successful trade or two. And he got himself back into the fucking thick of things, and he's still here. We are fucking 2 weeks away from the playoffs, and he's still alive after starting 0-3. So you got this, you got to
credit. We'll give him credit, man. Definitely.
Yeah, give him credit. Yeah, we thought he might suck more, but he's hanging in there with us. So
No, I mean his team goes off. I mean, I think we always pick against him just because, like I think I said it last week.
You guys.
It was that, and his team doesn't look that strong to me. Like he has some good key players, but like the entirety of his roster doesn't look that great. But he's getting results and he's scoring points. But so he could definitely win this game.
And he has Deshaun too. Deshaun is a great player.
But
Deshaun and Tyreek, those two guys. I mean, they turn it up, man. It's tough to play against them. So,
but he's still got to get his ass kicked this week. I mean, let's move on, right?
The next matchup, the Win Division game of Bad Hombres 7-4 versus Crossfaded, who's 4-7. Crossfaded had a big game this past week. Bad Hombres again, big hawk on the block. Two teams that had a pretty successful week this past week, going head to head. Crossfaded, like we said, they have a squad, man. He can put numbers up, and obviously, Chris, your team is one of the most talented in the league. So, tell us how you're feeling, man.
Man, you know what? I was feeling a lot better when I thought Kenny Golladay was gonna fucking play, and it turns out he's gonna miss another game. I think this is like his 4th game in a row that he's missed, and so now I'm debating on who to start between Sterling Shepard and CeeDee Lamb. I think I'm leaning towards Shepard because he's got a decent matchup against Cincinnati, and he gets a lot of targets, man. So, I was a lot more confident before, but Lamar Jackson against Pittsburgh, that's a tough matchup for Lamar, and he hasn't really been performing that well. So I'm not really too worried about Lamar.
I could see Lamar putting up like 16 points this week.
Let's hope, bro. I hope so. And then Kamara, ever since Taysom Hill is the quarterback now. Yeah, since Breeze has been out, Taysom Hill, he scored 2 running touchdowns last week, and I think he's gonna vulture some of those goal line runs from Kamara. And so I'm hoping that Kamara's ceiling is a little lower now with Taysom Hill at quarterback because of his running ability. Because Kamara didn't really have that great of a game last week. So I'm hoping that carries over to this week.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, if you look at his squad, though. Yeah, go ahead.
I was to say, Sean Payton just changed the game plan for the Saints. They run a different offense with Taysom Hill running it. So I don't think Kamara's he's not the man anymore. I mean, he's still great, but I mean, with Taysom Hill running shit there, he's not going to get those touches.
The thing that really the name that I see on the squad of his that worries me the most is Keenan Allen, man. I can't project that Herbert's gonna have a big baller fucking game and it's not gonna translate to Keenan Allen having a big game. And I believe wholeheartedly that he's gonna have a monster game. So
he could easily put up like 40 points.
He's getting all the targets, man.
Yeah, I can see that happening, and that's sketchy for me. I'm seeing a little wind icon next to his name, so I'm hoping that means 40-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know, but I'll keep my fingers crossed for that. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, fuck, man, Nick Chubb has a badass matchup against the Jags. And other than that, everybody else on my squad pretty much has a tough matchup. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna pick myself, dude. It's gonna be close. I'm probably not gonna look at my phone, but I can't not pick myself in this matchup.
That game gonna take you too, roll, boy.
Holy shit!
You pick me, I pick you.
There we go.
The way I see it, you're in the playoffs already. Crossfaded. I need him to lose, so don't have to worry about him. But I also think your team is just more talented. He does have the chance to go off though, but I think top to bottom, your team is better, even without Golladay. I think Russell Wilson bounces back against Philadelphia. I know Philly's not the team to play against, but I don't think Russell Wilson's going to have another down game. I think he's going to come out and he's going to look pretty sharp. And then you have Nick Chubb against Jacksonville. I mean, he can go off on those guys. He might run for 200 on them, dude. You don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, bro, because he's been hitting those 100-yard 10-point bonuses ever since he came back. So I'm hoping he keeps that rolling.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick you as well, Chris. I'm looking at like Lamar Jackson. He's projected to get 30 points, and I really don't understand how they do these projections because one, he's going up against a tough matchup, and the history of his season says, he's probably not going to get 30. So
he'll probably get half.
Yeah. So I don't really understand how they're projecting him to get that many points. So I think you'll win pretty comfortably this week.
All right.
I got you, Los Cowboys boys, bro.
Hey,
Stick together, bro.
Boys, bros. Cowboys, boys, bros.
Hey, this marriage is
die.
It's back, man. I know for a while you guys weren't picking each other, but it's back.
Hey, we're back, bro. It's funny what winning does to you, right? You just start getting along.
Right? Everything's peaceful. I'm not stressed anymore. I don't know if it's because I won or just because I know that my season's done. So I'm just carefree.
No stress. Yeah.
What problems?
Yeah.
That's unanimous in favor of the bad hombres. So let's look at the last division, the fire matchups. Squilon Santo 3-8 versus the Bangkok Ladyboys, who are 9-2. Marlon, how are you feeling going up against the Bangkok Ladyboys?
You know what? I'm feeling not confident, surprisingly. I know it's a shock. To everybody. But I'm really, really, really excited for this week because I'm really, really hoping for a major upset, which I'm not 100% on. I'm seeing a lot of questionables next to different people's names. And so I'm hoping that has some sort of factor. Even if they do end up playing, I hope that they trip over a little pebble or something and they break their knees just for the upset. I know that my season's done, but just to have that satisfaction of like, you know what? I went up against the greatest and I beat him.
And I won. Holy shit, man! I'm gonna go with you, Martin. Dude, I think you're gonna win, man. I really do. I'm not blowing fucking smoke up your ass, but I'm looking at the matchups here, and one to look at is he's got Hopkins going against New England. I know that defense isn't that great, but they still have one of the best corners in the fucking league, and I'm sure he's gonna be up against Hopkins. And so Gilly Locks, obviously, and we'll see, man. That's gonna be a fucking matchup, man. That's going to be a matchup to look for, and I think he might. Hopkins hasn't been doing that great these last couple of weeks. He might get shut down, dude. If Julio Jones plays, we know Matt Ryan is a lot better when Julio Jones is on the field against the Raiders. So I think he can have a big game there. You're starting Cole Beasley. I think Smokey John Brown is going to miss the game. I think he hurt his ankle or his foot in the previous game, so Beasley is looking to get more of the targets. And Justin Jefferson, bro, when you got a player like Jefferson, that dude can blow up at any time, man. He can blow up at any time. I mean, we saw against the Cowboys, obviously, last week. He was close to hitting that 100-yard bonus. And he's been scoring touchdowns. He's been breaking off long runs, or long receptions. So, Dude, I think you can do it, man. If Cooper and you already put the sal on fucking what's his name? El otro,
on Robert Woods.
Yeah, he's not todo saleado, bro. He's all salted out. I think fucking Cooper Kupp is gonna get all the targets, bro. Get him 20. Yeah. 20 targets, 18 catches. Fuck. Yeah. Let's hope he gets it, man.
You guys are talking yourselves into a Marlon win, but I'm gonna say that's not gonna happen.
All right, I pick Marlon. Mike picks fucking the Lady Boys.
Who's the best team in the league? He's one win away from clinching the number one seed in the division, and I think he does that this week.
That's what makes it a better win, bro. It's like a movie finish. It's like David against Goliath.
Like when a 1-9 team or whatever beats a.
So So in this movie, like say you win, Marlon, and you win it, and it's like the last game of it's the last scene, and you win, and your players are just like they're not holding a trophy because they're not going anywhere. But Bangkok is still going to the playoffs.
Yeah. But they're going home in shame. Home in shame.
Dude, Marlon, dude, I'm gonna pick Culon Santo to win this one too. You need to stop being such a pessimist, Mike. I think Culon Santo has some great matchups. No, I mean it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be closer than the projections
and the blowout that it projected to.
But yeah, Hopkins has been a little bad. He's got Aaron Rodgers going up against Chicago. mean, Chicago can force some turnovers. You know, he might throw some picks. And I do think Beasley is going to be heavily targeted that game. Cooper Kupp is going to be heavily targeted in that game, and Justin Jefferson might break out. Yeah, man, yeah. I'm going to go all in Colon Santo this week. I mean, Bangkok Ladyboys is making the playoffs either way, but you're going to get your moment to shine, dude. This is like
everybody loves an underdog story, bro. Everybody loves an underdog story.
Yeah.
Upset of the season, bro. Upset of the season. I hope you win because right now the upset of the season is Mike beating me last week. So let's hope we get Marlon beating the Ladyboys. Colon Santo beating the Ladyboys will be the upset of the fucking season. So let's make it happen.
Speak it into existence. Final matchup is the Flint Tropics versus the Gridiron Throne. Flint is 5-6. Gridiron Throne is 2-9. Hey, Mike, you can play spoiler this week, dude. You can be the spoiler. You can keep him out of the playoffs.
That's what I'm hoping.
You can end a season, bro. You can end a season.
I'm hoping to get one more win of the season, dude. I'm kind of stressed over the fact that I have to pick up quarterbacks from the waiver wire this late in the season. Because I lost Joe Burrow. So I picked up Baker Mayfield. Going up against Jacksonville. Jacksonville sucks. So I think there's some potential there. Plus I have Jarvis Landry. So if there's any touchdowns between them, I get double the points on that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not picking myself this week, but
don't be saying pessimist, dude. I'm taking you. I'm taking Mike to win this one.
Dude, you pick against yourself every week, Tom.
Bro, just don't.
And it's worked.
We're not talking about me right now. We're not talking about me right now.
That's funny. You know what, Mike? I'm looking at the fucking projections, bro, and you're projected to win. So I'm just going to believe sleeper on this one, bro. I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to take Tannehill does not have a good matchup against the Colts.
Neither does Lindsey.
Godwin.
New Orleans.
Yeah, Lindsey against New Orleans. And then Godwin, man, Antonio Brown has been getting a lot of the target share there. I watched that game against the Rams, and he was getting a lot of targets. And I know Godwin got the touchdown, but it's sketchy, man.
What's up with Antonio Brown and Tom Brady? Like, they just have this weird friendship. I don't understand it.
I don't know, man. Somebody might be getting cucked. I'm not sure. I mean,
I'll talk about that way, dude.
Bring up cucking every chance he gets, bro.
I do. Hey, bro, I blame Marlon because he's the one that planted the fucking seed, bro, back in the day.
True. But it is.
Listen to the other podcast for that story.
We're gonna link it in the description.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah, that's a fine episode, but yeah, dude, they do have a really weird relationship. Yeah, dude, both of them are kind of strange, though.
They're fucking roommates, dude, in Florida.
That's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna pick you, bro. I'm gonna pick you. I think the Gridiron Throne. McKissick against Dallas. McKissick. I mean, I know he didn't have that great of a game last week, but that dude can get fucking 15 targets. It's crazy how many targets he gets from the running back position. I think he might be the difference maker for you. We all know that the Dallas defense is not that great. So I think McKissick ends up having a big game. And then Marvin Jones without Kenny Golladay again. Marvin Jones is the number one receiver, and he's got a pretty good matchup against the Texans. So
yeah,
I'm gonna pick you,
I will say I'll be thrilled if I could win one more game this season. So
let's go, bro.
Speaking that into existence.
I'm gonna put my bet on you, Mike. Just because the matchups, at least on paper, they seem hard to overcome for Flint. And despite the fact that you're picking up quarterbacks off the waiver, I'm putting my faith in you for the upset.
For the upset.
Well, not really an upset because you're projected to win. You know what I mean? Upset for
records wise, it would be an upset.
Records,
yeah. He's won twice as many games as you have. So. Oh shit! Everybody pick. We're good, right?
Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's everything, man.
And
this is another very, very important week with the playoff implications. So good luck to everybody, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Later.